Can the Super Eagles of Nigeria win a fourth Afcon title? That is the million-dollar question so fans are asking. Welcome to another brand new edition of Sports Pizza. My name is Edwin Onyepolise. I trust you had a sporting weekend, and we are here to give you all of the juicy information, analysis, and of course, entertainment on the show. We have so much to unpack today, from the Super Eagles of Nigeria to the NPFL, where we saw some interesting games going down match day 3. Don't forget that we'll also give you stories from other sports. Formula 1, basketball, the 2023-24 season resumes, and I will be discussing this alongside my guest in the studio. Also, don't forget that there were games that went down in the international scene, talking about the European Championship qualifiers and, of course, World Cup qualifiers. So take a seat, fasten your seatbelt, because it's going to be a fantastic ride on Sports Pizza. Let's go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll delve into action. Welcome back. It's still Sports Pizza. My name is Edwin Onyepolise, and with me on set today is Olumide Akombi James. Welcome, Olumide. How you doing?
Yeah, Edwin, I'm good. Good to join you once again on set.
I love your name. Compound name. Yeah. Olumide Akombi James.
Yeah.
You have money?
Plenty of it.
All right, Olu, let's get down to action. We'll start with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We saw the friendly games. We saw the 4-4-2 system deployed by Jose Peseiro. We know that Victor Osimhen will lead the line for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. We know that the anchor man is going to be Wilfred Ndidi. Yeah. In defense, it seems like Calvin Bassey and Semi Ajayi have that spot for themselves. But the goalkeeping department is where we have issues. Since Vicente Yama retired, we haven't had a number one that inspires confidence. Carl Ikeme could have been the man, but his health issues didn't give us enough to enjoy the former Wolves goalkeeper. But if you are Jose Peseiro, will you be quaking in your boots?
It's a situation that is worrisome. You look at that goalkeeping position, you know that goalkeepers are very, very important in a team. They help you defensively. You know what defense can give you. Most times you can win a title if you have a good defense. And it's not just about the guys deputizing. I'm talking about the players now. The goalkeeper is, if you like, the captain of the defense line. And so you look at our goalkeepers, they don't inspire confidence, like you have rightly put it. And if I'm Peseiro, I'll be worried. The good thing is that there are a few months before the Afcon for him to sort out that position. I think that we have Adele. He seemed to be the only one with glimpse of hope right there. But for the other guys, we've seen the friendlies. We've seen how far these goalkeepers can go. If you are going to compete in the Afcon, you need better than what the performance they have given.
All right, before we leave the Super Eagles of Nigeria, once again, what we saw in both friendly games is the profligacy in front of goal. You create chances, but the finishing touch is missing. And more importantly, our wide forwards, you call them wingers, you call them inside forwards, or you call them wide forwards. They don't create enough for our center forwards. That should be a worry also. When you look at teams like Algeria, who score goals, Senegal, who score goals, Egypt also. There are a few other sides that can be a spanner in the wheels of the Super Eagles in Cote d'Ivoire.
But hey, I don't think it's that bad. We have very decent wingers. I think that Lupon, Samuel Chukwueze, I think they can do a decent job. And we know that Iheanacho can also play wide.
We know what he can do. You're talking about the potential.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the performance, delivery.
So in terms of performance, maybe what you also do is that you play to your strength. You don't have strength in wide areas, but you have a decent midfield that can do a good job and can also create for your strikers to score. So I think that for Peseiro, he needs to tweak that. You he likes playing through the wings, but we don't have wingers that can deliver good crosses, because we have some of the best strikers in world football, both on the continent, and then you can even talk about that in club football. But we don't have good wingers. So what do? You play through the middle. You have Iheanacho that can play in the middle. You have Iwobi. We've seen in the D recently, it seemed like there's this transition with him, playing more advanced. We've seen him at Leicester do that. In the friendlies, we saw that part of him also in the Eagles. So why not play to your strengths? You have this. Play with these decent guys in the middle, and then maybe what you need to do is play through the middle and leave the wings.
All right, before we leave the Super Eagles of Nigeria, let's tell our listeners that the Super Eagles have been drawn in Group A alongside the host country, Côte d'Ivoire, Equatorial Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. Can the Super Eagles of Nigeria qualify from this group? Can they make it down to the round of 16? Can they win the Afcon for the fourth time? Remember, the Super Eagles of Nigeria won it for the first time in 1980. Back then, they were known as the Green Eagles. Yeah. And 14 years later, they won it in Tunisia 94. Who can forget Rashidi Yekini? And in 2013, it was the time of the late Stephen Keshi Sondemba with the all-important goal in the final. In 2024, will it be the turn of the Super Eagles of Nigeria once again? So while we've left the Super Eagles of Nigeria, let's quickly touch on the MPFL round 3. Yes, we saw some games across different match centers. Let's talk about the 5-goal thriller. Enyimba 3, Aqua United 2. If Enyimba dropped points, there would have been a lot of pressure on Finidi George. He needed a win, and his players came through for him.
They did, and it's a good one for them. After the continental disappointment, I think that you would expect them to pick up. Even in the league, they've not started well. They are the defending champions. So, and you look at them, they were 19th before that game, and then Aqua bottom of the table. And so it's a battle of two guys at the lower part of the table, bottom table. And you expect they're playing at home, so home advantage. They've been on the continent. There's a little bit of rhythm and cohesion in that side, and I think that counted for them on the day. 5 goals. It's beautiful to see. We've seen 8 goals. We're seeing 5 again. It seems like these days our teams are beginning to score goals, and credit to Finidi George. Maybe this is the win they need to properly kickstart their season.
And the only away win we saw, match day 3, Remo Stars away from home,
Bielsa.
Defeating Bielsa United by 2 goals to 1. Bielsa, last time out, they scored 5 against Aqua United at home, but Remo Stars ensured that their wings were clipped. Other results in the NPFL, Bendel Insurance defeated Plateau United by a lone goal. Castina and Lobby Stars played out a goalless draw. Sunshine Stars and Heartland ended 1-1. Sunshine Stars missed a late penalty in that fixture. Abia Warriors defeated Kano Pillars by a lone goal. And Sporting Lagos and Doma United played out a goalless draw. We didn't see that coming. It was a disappointing result for Sporting Lagos. It depends on how you see it. Is it a half cup full or half cup empty? Yet to concede in 3 games, haven't scored in 2 games.
It's. I think that for them, it's a big disappointment. They needed 3 points to be assured of being the leaders going into match day 4. But hey, it didn't happen. Like you have said, they have 3 clean sheets now. They've scored 2 goals, but back-to-back draws, goalless draws, is not good enough, because that means something is wrong with their attackers, with their strikers. They are not scoring goals. They are converting chances. They are creating chances, but they are not scoring goals. And I think it's worrisome. So,
all right, let's take a look at the table. Sporting Lagos were top of the table match day 2, but right now they've dropped from 1st to 6th on the table. Bendel Insurance top the table. Enugu Rangers 2nd, Abia Warriors 3rd, and Shooting Stars complete the top 4. The bottom 4, you have Plateau United in 17th, Kano Pillars 18th, Heartland 19th, and Aqua United 1 point from 3 games, 20th on the log. Away from that, let's quickly touch on tennis. And we had this discussion about Herbert Hokers and Andrei Rublev at the Shanghai Masters.
Yeah.
Herbert,
And I was rooting for.
Yeah, you were rooting for Herbert Hokers.
I told you that
and
Rublev.
Herbert, yes, it's 3-2 in head-to-head against Andrei Rublev. He got his second Masters 1000 title, and it was a sweet victory for the Pole.
Yeah, it was. Going into that, I think the big one for me is that for Rublev, he hadn't dropped a set getting all the way to the final. But hey, he couldn't replicate that form in the final against, going into the final, they both just won 1,000 Masters. So it was a battle of who is going to get the second one ahead of the other. But for Harcourt, good one for him. A good one for him. But for Rublev, very disappointing. All
right, on the WTA side of tennis, let's tell you that world number 4, Jessica Pegula, claimed a second title of the season with victory over China's Yue Yuan in the Korean Open final in Seoul. Guess what? She became the first American since Serena Williams to win the Korean title since 2007.
Yeah.
All right, away from that, Olumide, the NBA season starts this weekend, 2023-24 season, and there's so much to look forward to. But hey, Damian Lillard seems to be the name on everyone's lips. In his first preseason game for the Bucks, he scored 14 points. But what are you looking forward to as the season starts?
Well, an interesting season. I'm sure it's going to be interesting. You've picked out the Bucks. I'm looking at the Lakers. I'm looking at Golden State Warriors. I like to see what all of these teams are going to do. We've seen them in preseason games, how they've done. It seemed like it's going to be very, very, very hot and very competitive this season. But I think that between the Bucks, you can say Lakers have not inspired confidence in the last 2 seasons, but I think you will
seem
see
to have a soft spot for the Lakers.
It's true. That's my own team in the NBA. So, I believe that they will do something differently from what they did the last time. So, Bucks, Golden State Warriors,
the Nuggets,
Celtics. So you can see that it's going to be very, very fast. Let's see how it goes, because I can't wait for it to start enough of football.
All right, and be sure to get the very best from the NBA on the Sports Pizza. That will give you nothing but the absolute best. At this point, we'll go on a short break. When we come back, there's more on the show, Sports Pizza, with Edwin Onyebolise and my guest in the building, Olumide Akombi James. Welcome back to Still Sports Pizza. My name is Edwin Onyebolise. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms. They are now showing on your screen. Let's get back to talking football, Olumide. International games, the European qualifiers, a couple of countries have qualified. Spain, Scotland, huge one for them. Portugal, Belgium have all sealed their place in the European Championship taking place in Germany, alongside the host country, Germany.
And it's brilliant for Scotland. I don't know how you look at their group, and you're not going to think that at this time, with I think 2 games more to spare, they're already up there. For Belgium and Austria, I think I was quite disappointed in Austria. I expected them, they've won every home game, and going into that game, all they needed to do was to ensure that they don't lose against the Belgians, but somehow they get to drop the point and then allow the Belgians to qualify. But we still have a couple of more interesting games to play. You are looking at groups where you have Hungary, you have Italy, you still have some very, very exciting games. Let's see how it goes, but I think that's the only surprise for me so far. Scotland qualifying at this time with games to spare.
All right, so let's tell you that in November, the final international break will come up, and yours truly, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, will start their FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Liberia. And let's also tell you that this weekend, club football resumes, and we have some interesting games. I know, Olumide, you're not a fan of international football, but hey, club football is back, and we have some interesting games for you. In the Premier League, there's the big one, Chelsea versus Arsenal. A couple of years ago, this used to be a huge fixture, but right now, Chelsea are struggling. Arsenal on the ascendancy. What is now? Come on. Chelsea, Arsenal this weekend. Manchester City versus Brighton.
Yes,
two interesting games.
Yeah, two interesting games. But you know, let me start with the last one, Brighton City. You look at the City that Pep Guardiola, before the international break, that loss against Arsenal, was very angry, and he can't wait for the break to be over so that he can start all over again. So you are expecting a very, very difficult game. We know Pep Guardiola, he doesn't like losing. He's dropped points. He's looking like he's getting far behind. Arsenal is running away with the league. And then for Arsenal and Chelsea, I think that's a game I can't call. Chelsea seem to be, you've seen the back-to-back wins. And then they've conceded 1 and scored 7 in that last 3. We've seen Arsenal, is a different Arsenal team this season. You don't know what you would expect. The game plan was different against City. It's been different with every other team. But hey, we can't wait for the weekend to be here so we can have some action. All
right, in the Spanish La Liga, it's Sevilla versus Real Madrid. Yeah, Sergio Ramos against his former side. And it's Barcelona versus Athletic Club. And let's tell you for a fun fact that Barcelona and Athletic Club have won the most Copa del Rey in the history of the competition. And in the Italian Serie A, it is Milan versus Juventus. So go out there, enjoy these games, and remember, we'll be back to give you all of the juicy informations and interesting analysis. That's the much you can take on the show today. But before we leave, as always, we give you our video of the week. And remember to follow us on all social media platforms. The handles are showing currently on your screen. That's the much we can take so far on the show. We'll be back same time next week. Thank you, Olumide, for being a part of the show.
Yeah, good to be here, Edwin.
And yes, I'll see you next time. Enjoy.